Wolfson College has, from its earliest days, prided itself on being progressive, egalitarian decision-making in an Oxford too full of hierarchy, a focus on graduates and research in a university traditionally associated with the undergraduate experience, an open prospect across the River Cherwell rather than closed cloisters, a nursery from our earliest days, more high chair than high table. And as the environmental movement was just getting going, we purchased the meadow across the river to preserve forever its natural value and to stop it being turned into a university science park. We have allotments and raised beds to allow students and fellows to produce their own fruit and vegetables. So we've always been an early adopter and pioneer. But there is one area where successive presidents and governing bodies have scratched their heads and found it difficult to know how on earth to make progress. We cannot escape the fact that our early buildings were designed in a period before the 1970s energy crisis. They are gloriously open, but they're frighteningly wasteful of energy. And where this used to be primarily a matter of cost, watching pound signs disappear out of single glazed windows and inefficient boilers, it's now above all a question of how the college can play its full part in mitigating climate change. We have to face facts. Our architecture means that we're one of the most energy inefficient colleges in Oxford. Over the last 10 years, we've done as much as we could to reduce the emissions we release into the atmosphere. Any new build was done to the best standards. Solar cells were installed on the roof of the main building and green gardens on the roof of the new structure. We preserve our biodiversity, particularly the site of special scientific interest meadows. We serve now more vegan and vegetarian meals than fish and meat-based meals. We encourage video conferencing and train journeys rather than flights. We're introducing electric vehicles and charging stations. But despite all of this, the emissions from our estate remain stubbornly high, and it feels as if, however good our intentions, we can never achieve our dream of zero carbon. Last year, we won a grant from the government to conduct a full professional survey. It set out the facts. We have a 20-year carbon footprint of 24,000 tonnes of CO2. And to bring that down to zero, we need to triple glaze our windows, install air source heat pumps and get rid of old gas boilers, reseal the roof, install as many PV cells on the roofs as possible. And the report set out the cost of that, £14 million. It sounds like an impossible sum. But after extensive and quiet preparation, we haven't wanted to distract people from work on the pandemic, the college was awarded this spring a major grant from the government of £5 million to allow us to undertake the programme. We've taken the major step to match that with £3 million from the college's own funds, and we've received planning permission from the city now, so we are moving ahead fast. This will allow us to reduce our emissions on the main site by 75% over the next year, a very significant move towards complete decarbonisation of the estate. We're looking to other supporters to provide the remaining £6 million, and our aim is to be well on the way to zero carbon by 2024, when the college celebrates the 50th anniversary of its campus, and to definitively have done so by 2030, shifting from one of the worst to one of the best performers and showing what can be done through proper planning and collaboration actively. Making this happen means that in this area too, Wolfson should be among the most progressive colleges in the world. And I know that more students and researchers will now choose us because of what we have been able to achieve. It's part of our gift to the future. So I hope, as term comes to an end and the summer begins, it makes you pleased to belong to Wolfson. It certainly does for me.